Welcome to the run-through of my final prototype. It operates as a dual device system, so please use the indicators above the screens to understand which device is currently active. This is the landing page of the website, where the user can get a quick overview of what Gallivant is and what service it provides. To begin the adventure, the user will have to pair the website and their mobile device. This is done simply by inputting the pairing code displayed on the website into the mobile application, which links them together. This leads the user onto the main homepage of the dashboard. On this page, the user will be able to read more about how the system works and what features it has. It also shows some of the recommended blogs which were revealed in my insights as issues that tours needed more awareness of. At the bottom, users will be able to see a list of their trips and a link to download the Gallivant application. Once familiar with the homepage, the user can move on to the background research tab on the left-hand side. Here, they'll have access to all the information needed to plan their trip. They can read an overview of the route, view a graph on when accommodation is most commonly available, or interact with a slider that displays information on how long their trip should be, labeling the trip length either short, good, perfect, or lengthy. Finally, above that, they'll be able to interact with the time of year infographic, which displays information about what each month brings in terms of weather, temperature, traffic, and other criteria. In this example, the user wants to find out which are the warmest months, so selects a drop-down menu and selects warmest, revealing the top 3 warmest months. If the user finds this information relevant, they can come up to the top right and select the pin icon, activating the pinning mode. Here, they'll be able to pin information directly from the website onto their mobile device. On the mobile, it will create a generic group name, which the user can open and access that piece of pinned information. This feature will be useful during the planning stage to refer back to important information that was discovered in the research stage. Users are also able to pin pieces of text, and they can have the ability to edit what portion of text is pinned simply by pressing the edit button and dragging that indicator to only pin what they want. They can pin as much information as they'd like, but once they're happy, they can press the exit button and continue on with their research. One of the other areas of information that the website provides is on each of the specific regions of the North Coast 500. Here, they'll be able to interact with the map, revealing where each of the 6 regions are, and they're also given the option to click and view specific information on that region, such as what it's known for, its top interests, and the recommended accommodation in the area. Once they've finished researching, they can move on to the Planner tab. Here, they can view all the trips they've created, or in this case, create their first trip. Here, they'll be asked to enter details such as the trip name, its start and finish dates, the number of people going, and the mode of transport. Next, they'll be given the option to fill in their main interests. By selecting from a list of options or searching for their own, the user will be able to input what interests them the most about the North Coast 500. These interests will be used by the system to generate results that the user may like, and once they're happy with their choices, they can start planning the bulk of their trip. This takes us into the planning stage, which is the main part of the website and mobile application. The user will be prompted to input their starting location for day 1. They'll have the option to either use the mobile to scroll through the list or use the website to hover over the pins. The user selects Inverness, which reveals the Inverness card on the website, and by selecting Read More, the system will load the profile onto their mobile device to view more information about the selected location. Here, they can read a description, view nearby locations, and discover top interests in the area. Once they're happy with their decision, they can set this location as their starting point for day 1. They will then be prompted to select their finishing point for day 1. One of the features that I've implemented into the website is region mode, which is located in the bottom right. This mode allows users to visually see the division of regions across the route by simply hovering over sections of the map, helping them to make more informed decisions on the locations they want to go to. Out with region mode, users can hover over pins to reveal more information about them. In the bottom left, you can see that the system has calculated the journey time for this finishing point and displayed it for the user. If the user would like to change the location they're viewing, they can simply move their mouse off the card and onto another pin. On this card, you can see the pin icon on the right hand side. This indicates that the user has pinned this location as a place of interest during their research. The user can interact with the card on the website by expanding it to view a short description or to flick between images. If they would like to view more about this location, they can select the Open in App button, which will load the profile onto their mobile device. If they are happy, they can confirm it as their finishing point for day one, joining the two locations together to create their base route for the day. The user can simply edit their selections by swiping right on the card to delete the location, swapping it out for a different place. If they're satisfied, they can move on to the planning of the accommodation for day one. I would like to mention at this point that my initial intention was to have the website transition from the zoomed out map to the zoomed in state seen here with a smooth zoom animation, similar to what you might see on Google Earth. This would eliminate any confusion about where the zoomed in map was showing. However, this wasn't possible in the software I used, so I just had to fade the two images together. So please picture any future switches between zoom lengths to be one smooth transition. Regardless, the user is now presented with a list of available accommodation. Using the mobile to scroll through the options, the user can select a card, which adds its price and additional drive time to the counters at the bottom left of the website. Again, the user can tap the Read More button to view the hotel's profile. Here, they will be able to swipe across to view its description, facilities, reviews, find out what is nearby, and access their contact details before adding it to their itinerary. On the mobile, a notification will pop down informing the user that this place of accommodation requires a booking, prompting them to book soon to avoid disappointment. On the website, you'll see that the price and drive time for the trip has been updated to include the accommodation added. Once happy, they can move on to planning their hospitality for day one. From afar, the website will group pins that are located within close proximity of each other, so not to clutter the map with a distracting amount of icons. Using the website, the user can hover over a group of pins to reveal all the places that are located nearby. To change which pin is being focused on, they simply hover over the card that they're interested in. Again, the user can click on the card to load the profile onto their mobile device. On the mobile, the user can swipe to the Services tab. This tab was designed as the result of one of my insights, which revealed that some tourists were using large supermarkets in Inverness to stock up on their food for the whole trip, draining the income of small cafes and businesses along the way. This feature allows the user to opt in for a food-to-go option, letting them pick up full meals or ingredients along the way. This would use locally sourced food and boost local economies. The other options are dine-in, which is your regular dinner or lunch reservation, as well as gift hamper, which gives the user a collection of local produce and items to bring home as presents. The user can choose to add any of these options to their stop. Again, the booking notification will pop down from the top, and this is where they can refine their menu choices for the food-to-go option. The user is given the option to add any additional hospitality stops. For example, Balgo Vlader could be their lunch, and now they need somewhere for dinner. This time, they use the mobile to select a restaurant that they pin during their research. On the website, the zoomed-in map displays how far this restaurant is from their accommodation on day one. When any stop is added, the system triggers a vibrate function on the mobile device right at this point. This gives the user haptic feedback and a physical confirmation that the stop has been added. After adding the fish market to day one, they can see an overview of all the hospitality that has been chosen before moving on to the interest for the day. By this point, the planning of day one is nearing completion. All that is left now is choosing their interest. The user scrolls to tap the quad bike activity, an interest that they inputted right at the very beginning. However, after seeing in the bottom left of the website that this added 42 minutes to their journey, they decide to use the randomize button at the bottom of the mobile screen. This completely randomizes the selection, picking a quiet beach, and gives the user a fun and spontaneous aspect to planning their trip. Ultimately, this may make the tourists go to places that they would not have otherwise gone to, as a result, distributing the traffic of the North Coast 500 and pumping money into smaller towns, villages, and attractions. After double-checking the beach's profile, they add it to their itinerary. The user can go on to add more interests or now see a complete overview of day one. On the mobile screen, the user can see a list of all their stops, as well as information about the drive time and distance between each of them. They can also see which stops have been booked and which still require booking, which is indicated by the orange text beneath. They can also go back and edit or delete any places that they'd like. On the website, it gives a visual overview of the day and displays the total price and journey time. After confirming day 1, the user is taken to Trip Overview, which indicates that they still have 4 more days left to plan. This process will be repeated for each day, but to save time, let's just skip ahead. This is what it would look like after day 2. In the top right, the user can view the checklist box, which displays the progress they have made in planning their trip so far. Once all days have been planned, they can go on to view their final trip itinerary. Here, the user can use toggles on the mobile device to switch on and off any information on the map. By swiping right, the user can combine these days with themes, toggling on the interest for the entire trip. When they're happy with their trip, they can press finish and head back to the main dashboard.